guys, we are going to share 10 tips with you. 5 from us who have been on the road for only 5 months, and then another 5 from a family that has been on the road for 5 years. You ready for this?
We are the People's Family. In March of 2021, we made some big changes in our lives to trade in our home of 3,500 square feet in Ohio for a 400 square foot house on wheels. And we set out on the road in March of 2021. So here is to our journey that is not about all the things, but is more about all the people and all the places. I'm Ashley.
I'm Rob.
I'm Ellie. I'm Abby. And I'm Emery.
And we're the Peoples.
Okay, you guys, guess what? We are here with the Axnes family, and this is Christian and Nate. They have 2 kiddos, Ella and Anderson, and we were fortunate enough as a new full-time RV family to boondock for the first time in Glacier National Park with these guys, and we've learned so much, and we feel like they have so much to offer as far as wisdom before you get on the road. So they're gonna share with you 5 tips.
5 is really difficult, but I think that we can manage.
What an introduction to boondocking, because I think our first was a night in a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, so to be able to boondock in Glacier is a pretty luxury experience, no doubt. So we've been traveling full-time for 5 years. We have 2 children. She already said that, but I'll tell you their ages. Anderson is age 6. And Ella is age 9. And so we've been traveling with our children since they were really, really, really tiny. So we know a little bit of something about traveling with children. And so we're excited to be bringing you guys these tips because we feel like this is just what we learned along the way and something that we think that you might find of value. And so here is tip number 1. Have an adequate amount of savings. A lot of people, when they're embarking on this journey, they are not taking into consideration a lot of expenses that might arise. And so having some money in a savings account can just ensure that you have enough security and stability to make any necessary repairs, make any RV modifications that you need to make. A good rule of thumb of the amount of savings that you need is 3 months worth of income in savings.
Yeah, if you think about it, these are built pretty well, but you're rolling down the highway at 60, 65 miles per hour, stuff is gonna break.
Yeah. Tip number 2, I think, is probably one of the most important tips, and that is to stay flexible. This lifestyle is going to throw curves. It's not always going to be perfect. And I think that if you keep that into consideration, it's gonna make your travels a little more enjoyable, because when you have your down moments, you know that that doesn't always account for the way that your lifestyle is going to look. You're gonna have moments where you are boondocking in Glacier, and then you're gonna have moments where you are overnighting it in Walmart. That is just kind of the way that it goes. And so
we were only supposed to have 3 nights here in Glacier, and we extended twice and ended up staying for 9 days.
Yeah. So by being flexible, you'll be able to enrich your travels immensely. And that isn't just with travels, but that's also in relationships. That's in your grocery selection, because let me tell you, as you start traveling, it's going to be more difficult to find some of your favorite brands. It's going to not always be easy. And so by staying flexible, I think you can really enjoy your travels a lot more.
Yeah, we eat plant-based, and so if we can find the food to eat around here in rural Montana, you can too.
Yeah, totally, totally. Number 3, I think, is I think this one is maybe more specific for our family, but I think that anybody that I talk to would probably agree that planning ahead could be really beneficial. So tip number 3 is do plan ahead. you can stay flexible within a plan and it can work out really well. But by having some backup plans to your initial plan, you can plan to plan and plan to plan. Some really great apps that we utilize to plan ahead are apps like Campendium. Campendium is an app that you can download on your phone, and it'll show you local RV parks, it'll show you state parks, it'll show you dump stations, it'll show you water fill stations. It's a really great app when you are wanting to plan ahead, but you're also staying flexible. Another app that we use to score awesome nights in parks and in national parks and in places that are more difficult to get into are web services like CampNab or Wandering Labs. These are web applications that will allow you to scan for empty or canceled or available, hard to find campground spots in desirable locations. So you can create scans for places, and then it will give you a text notification when it comes available, and you can grab that right up.
And that's how she got Glacier.
We told you about that, but you're not allowed to tell anyone else.
No.
No one else.
No,
That's
don't.
a secret between us and you.
It's so funny because I feel like every single time I mention CampNab, it's like, oh, I mention it. But then if somebody else mentions CampNab, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So only I'm allowed to mention CampNab. I'm just kidding. So what tip are we on now?
Number 4.
Okay. Tip number 4 is have lots of discussions with your family and check in consistently and often, because emotional well-being while traveling is really important. And when you are a family unit, you're operating as a unit, but you also have individuals that make up your family unit. And I think that having frequent conversations and just check-ins, I think can be really beneficial to ensure that everybody's on the same page. It is not uncommon for us to chat with families with older children and find that maybe older kids are needing to, they're needing some help adjusting to life on the road, or maybe they just have big feelings about being on the road. And so I just think like checking in with your family and just figuring out where everyone's at emotionally can really help. I think that Nate and I, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, I think Nate and I are really encouraged and motivated by helping people achieve long-term family travel, because I think that this lifestyle provides a lot in terms of family relationship. But in order to do that successfully, I really do feel like frequent conversations are necessary.
Christian and I, we like camping out in the middle of nowhere, as where our kids really enjoy having friends around. And so we've had conversations with them, and we've just agreed that, you know, every now and then we're going to meet up with some great families and let them socialize.
So for my last tip, this one's really specific to me. So if Nathan isn't feeling this one, he can let me know. But I'm sure that when I mention it, he's going to agree. And that is, get a washer and dryer. Like in your first rig, just don't go without it. Just get a washer and dryer. I traveled full time for 4 years before having a washer and dryer. I lugged dirty clothes to the laundromat once a week, and it was the worst thing that I've ever had to do in my life. And so I just want you to know, if you're watching this and you're like, you know, that cargo capacity, we're not going to be able to get a washer and dryer, you know, you need to go back to the drawing board and you need to figure out exactly what you need to do to have a washer and dryer in your rig.
All right. Bonus tip. Bonus tip. I know we said 5 tips, but this is a bonus tip. If you haven't bought your truck or SUV and trailer yet, listen to me right now. Go pick out the rig that you want. Go pick out the rig that you want. Then buy the truck or vehicle to match it. Because you do not want to end up with a $500 note on your truck and it not be enough to pull the rig that you want. There you go.
That's a good bonus tip.
Very good
really
bonus.
Great bonus tip.
Very good.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that was amazing, and I hope that you learned something.
Okay, so after you heard from the 5-year veterans, we thought it would be beneficial for you to hear from
Newbies.
some newbies, basically 5-month veterans. And so we wanted to share with you 5 tips from 5-month veterans. The first one is wait on buying a lot of products until you meet other full-time families and do your research.
We bought a lot of products in the beginning that we thought were popular, and then we learned that there was better things out there. For example, like a lot of people have those pavilion type things, you know, to keep the sun away. We went through 2 of them because the wind broke them basically.
Yeah.
And we wish we would have known about the clam. Look it up. The clam beforehand. Absolutely love it. The other thing that comes to mind is a good grill. So Robin,
Griddle.
A griddle. I'm
Griddle.
sorry.
So if I were you, I would not go with a grill. I would go with a griddle. They're easier to clean, easier to transport, much easier to just use, and it makes everything from pancakes to eggs, all the way to like burgers and stir fry and all that kind of stuff. Hibachi, which is one of our favorite things.
The other thing that I highly recommend.
Number 2.
Number 2 is a shakedown trip. Now, what we mean by this is that you set out for a period of time. For us, it was, I think, 6 weeks, 2 months? No, it was 2 months.
It was 2 months. Yeah.
And in the meantime, what we did was we hired somebody to go into our home and sell the big things. So by the time we got back from our shakedown trip, a lot of the stuff was gone, and all we had to focus on was like garage sale stuff and then cleaning up what we didn't need and donating things. And that was a huge thing for us. It also allowed us to really kind of get a feel for living full time and getting a sense of what we need and what we didn't really use in our rig. So we were able to go put the stuff we didn't use in the garage sale.
Right. And the other thing about the shakedown trip is you live in something that's basically put together with baling twine and duct tape. And
Truth.
Things are going to shake off on that shakedown trip.
Especially if it's new.
Yes, we lost a few things on the road, and I hope no one got hurt by it. But things will fall off your rig, and it's important to know, like, to understand maintenance and things like that. And if I'm do a side note, on that shakedown trip, if you can be part of any kind of full-time family, any of the membership things that we do, like the hangouts, or any of the rallies, you should definitely be a part of that. That was a game changer for us because we got to learn so much.
It sure was.
That was a side note, so
Yes.
sorry. Number 3, yeah, number 3, if you care about the quality of your water, which you definitely should care about the quality of your water, get a good water filtration system.
Or if you just care about your hair looking half decent, because these campgrounds, I'm going to tell you right now, they've got a lot of hard water. Mm-hmm. And so we would consider ourselves like water snobs,
yes.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, we're definitely water snobs. We had a whole house water filtration system, and that's actually one of the things that we were worried about when it came to the road, because we've seen those little blue filters that, you know, go on the spigot, and they're funky, and really, does it make the water taste any better, and does it actually keep anything out, right? So we wanted to be able to drink our water, we wanted to be able to make ice with our water, so what we bought was a
Frizz Life.
We bought the Frizz Life RV filter. It filters all the way down to 0.5 microns. You guys, that's huge, and it's just a filter about this big. And you can change the filter and just keep changing the filter and changing the filter, and it filters out all like the sediments and all the metals and all those kinds of things.
Yes.
Also, what else did we add to their water filtration system?
A softener.
Yes.
This is nice.
A softener.
I really like the softener.
Yeah, so we have an on-the-go water softener. We have the medium size, which is like 1,600 gallons. So every 1,600 gallons, I just have to regenerate it, but it's super, super, super simple. Like, if you know me, I don't like complicated things. I like simple things, which is why I'm an Apple customer. Apple is very intuitive, it's very easy. So is this on-the-go water softener. Super easy to use.
Simple's good. So that leads us to our 4th thing, which is, listen,
I don't know if you're like me, but I've got to be plugged in because I need to work on the road. So having multiple ways of getting internet is, I feel like it's vital. So we have both Verizon and AT&T and ways to get them. So that has been really helpful because you'll find in some areas AT&T is like amazing, and then you'll find in other areas it's not, and Verizon is the one to go with. You could look into T-Mobile, and what's the other one?
I think that's it. I don't know.
Sprint? I think that's what,
No, Sprint's gone.
Oh, Sprint's gone. No. Anyway, well, I'm just going to go with we have had the best of luck with those, and we really, really, really like this thing called Viper Broadband.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a total game changer, and everybody we've shared it with thanks us like so much because it's a game changer for them. So it's literally just like a plug-in, and it's like a modem. So I know you could speak to this a little bit more.
Yeah, so it's basically it has a SIM card inside of it, and we chose AT&T, and there's two reasons we chose AT&T. One is our phones are Verizon, so we didn't need another Verizon device. We also have a Verizon MiFi, which only has 15 gigs, but we use that only if we can't get any service from anywhere else. So since our phones are Verizon, we chose AT&T. That's the first reason. Second reason we chose AT&T was that AT&T is the only network that you can actually stream HD in. And I'm a TV snob. If I watch sports, or if I watch a movie, or if I watch Netflix or anything like that, I want to watch it in HD.
So there you have it.
There you have it.
That's from a total techie nerd right here.
Yeah. Number five. Number 5, do not move too fast. And this we learn from experience because we have been moving way too fast. And so we've decided to slow down.
I think our happy like time to stay at a park would be like what, 7 to 10 days? Like
I would say
that's a good
minimum of 7 to 10 days.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like we don't get to do that here, but
No.
but we will stay in the area for longer. But I would say 7 to 10 days. You just have to, you kind of have to feel it out for your family and for whoever's driving your rig. That's really important because I know that it seems like it's like a simple task just to drive, but when you're constantly hauling your home behind you, or maybe you have a Class A and you're hauling your car behind you, it can be very taxing emotionally and physically, actually, because it's like being a long haul truck driver.
Yeah, absolutely. And to create some sort of like normalcy for your kids, you know, like the setup day and the tear down day, you can basically just like take 2 whole days off of the time that you're at the campground,
right,
and just call it like a 5-day trip if it's a week.
Absolutely.
So that would be probably, it's really important. Really, really important.
Yeah, whatever your family rhythm is, you just have to find that out, and you can find that out kind of on your shakedown trip.
Yeah.
To be honest, you can kind of see like what is your sweet spot for staying where you want to stay. The longer you stay, the more you get to be a part of the community and see the things around you. So
it's true, and we definitely loved all of the Axnes's tips as well. We completely agree with all of them. So we just wanted to bring you a few from, you know, us noobs.
Yeah. So we hope that you find all these tips valuable, and you learn from the mistakes that we've made. And we hope that, you know, you're not too afraid to get out there and get on the road, because I'm telling you, it's the best decision we've ever made. Hey, be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by just clicking that subscribe button, and go ahead and hit that bell right below you, and you'll be notified every time we have a video come out.